Bienvenido a nuestro canal de respaldo. Si eres un suscriptor del canal Tu Mundo Ahora, debemos informarte que nos han cancelado, estamos siendo censurados. No obstante, intentaremos hacer todo lo posible por la vía legal para recuperarlo. Por ahora, si eres un patriota de corazón, te pedimos por favor que te unas a este canal. Aquí compartiremos todos los comunicados de los grandes patriotas como el Gran Titán, e informaremos como siempre con la verdad. Que Dios te bendiga por apoyarnos, y estar al lado de la verdad, al lado del Gran Titán. En una reciente entrevista en Mar-a-Lago, llevada a cabo en este mes de octubre, el Gran Titán ha entregado una entrevista con Lara, la esposa de su hijo Eric, en la cual conversaron sobre las crisis importantes que afronta América y el mundo, las cuales están empeorando a medida que avanza el tiempo, y la incompetente izquierda con la justicia y los medios de comunicación a su servicio, se mantiene en el poder. Por lo cual, el Gran Titán aseguró en la entrevista que hay que darle vuelta a esto antes que sea demasiado tarde, y anunció que hará que Estados Unidos vuelva a ser grandioso.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us right here. Tonight, we are with a man who needs no introduction. We are back for the second time with the 45th President of the United States, my father-in-law.
Hello, Laura.
Thank you for joining us. The last time you were on was spring of 2021 on our show, and almost immediately, social media, big tech deemed our interview so dangerous that they took it down within hours of being posted, and they said it was, and I quote, for sharing your voice. So how quickly do you think they will remove this very dangerous interview of a daughter-in-law speaking with her father-in-law?
Well, they're very dishonest people, and it's very bad for our country what's happened. And interestingly, that was about a year ago, but they've done very poorly since then. Their numbers are way down, and some people said that it was one of the worst decisions made in all of business, taking me off, because they've become very boring. They've lost so much, and they've lost excitement. I mean, there's no excitement, there's no anything, there's nothing to talk about. And if you look at Facebook stock, and if you look at Twitter, what's gone on with Twitter, Twitter's a total disaster. And we have now Truth Social, and it's getting the word out like nobody can even imagine. But it's very sad when the country, it's really censorship for our country. You know, we're supposed to have a free press. We don't have a free press at all in this country.
Yeah, it's shocking and very upsetting, I think, for a lot of Americans. But you're right, Truth Social, which has been very successful, and
great.
Congratulations, because last time we spoke, that had not officially launched, but it is doing well. We've seen how impactful your support of particular candidates, your endorsement, is for certain people. What do you see coming as we head towards November 8th? Do you see a red wave? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I see a lot of censorship again, and I see a lot of other things, a lot of evil forces trying to stop. But I also see very much of a red wave, because people are tired of the crime and all of the horrible things that are happening. You look at your 401ks, the market is crashing. I mean, it's one of the worst stock markets we've ever had for the last year. It's been horrible. It's much lower than when I handed it off. When I handed it off, it was much higher. People are down 40, 50%. That means they've lost half of their wealth, and they're very angry about it. Look, so many things are so sad. When our vice president gets up the other day by mistake, well, I assume by mistake, and she talks about our great alliance with North Korea, and you have all these South Korean, you know, the top people in South Korea sitting there, and she's talking about the alliance, and she meant South Korea. It was a mistake, but almost not an acceptable mistake. So I think that's going to be a big factor. I think people are going to remember Afghanistan and the horrible removal, which I think was the worst, most embarrassing period of time in our country's history. And I think that's one of the reasons that Russia went in. They would have never gone in if I were president. They would have never gone into Ukraine. It would have never, ever, it's not even thinkable.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
How would you handle, first of all, I agree with you. I don't think Russia would have ever attempted to do what they did with Ukraine had you been president, for a multitude of reasons. Our energy independence being one, of course, our energy dominance, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. But how would you handle things at this point if you were president?
Well, you see, you're asking me a very tough question, because this is a much tougher point than it would have been had he not gone in. That was a negotiation. I don't even believe I would have had a negotiation. I think nothing would have happened. And you said it very well, because with energy independence and with low energy costs, he wouldn't have had the money to do it.
Right.
When oil got up to $130 a barrel, and now it's still very, very high, he's making a lot of money despite all of the costs and all of the trauma that he's gone through. And they're fighting very hard on the other side. But the United States is giving billions and billions of dollars, and so many times more than Europe. You know, Europe is not paying a lot of money relative to the United States, which I think is very unfair to the U.S. taxpayer. So a lot of things are happening. To go in there now, you're going to have to get them together, and you're going to have to say, you're going to have to make a deal. And we have a lot of power over that. But one of the biggest powers we have is to get the energy prices lower, because if we'd lower the price of energy, if we could get where Putin's not doing $100 a barrel, but he's doing $40 a barrel, there wouldn't be a war. It wouldn't have started. Number one, it wouldn't have started just because of me, but it also wouldn't have started if energy prices were low. And you got to get them down, because they're artificially high right now. And the bad news is they're artificially high, but they're going to go much higher.
Yeah, well, it brings me actually to my next question, which is, we have seen in less than 2 years in office how damaging Joe Biden truly has been for this country, the decisions he's made. And it basically was a reversal of so many of your policies that were so successful for the people of this country. How do we fix it, though? How do we come back from here? Because it feels to so many people, almost they feel helpless at this point.
Well, the one thing that's very hard is you have millions and millions of people pouring into the country. And we can do the energy, we can get that going again, and we can create a tremendous, you know, we have more, I call it liquid gold, under our feet than any other country. We have natural gas, we have oil, we have almost unlimited, you know, it's a hard word, but you could say 500 years at maximum usage. So we have something that China doesn't have, that most other countries don't have. And when you look at what's going on, when you look at how this has all been wasted, they're talking about an electric car, electric batteries. It only goes for a short period of time before you have to get it recharged. And as it gets better over years, it's still not going to be great. It's never going to be like what we have right now. People don't want it. But importantly, the batteries are all made
from China.
In China from material under China's earth. They don't have gasoline, they don't have oil and gas, but they have the materials for batteries. We are playing right into their hands as usual.
Yeah, it's so sad to see, honestly.
The Green New Deal is destroying our country. It's like throwing trillions and trillions of dollars right out the window. It's causing tremendous inflation, and it's causing a lot of problems. And it would be wonderful to get on that bandwagon. Boris got on that bandwagon, and look what happened to him, because people didn't like that, and they don't like it now. They want to stop crime. They want to see things get done. They want to have a country back again, what's going on in this country. And then on top of it, people are being censored. They're being harassed. And in many cases, these are great people, great patriots. And their opposite side, we'll use nice terms, opposite side, nothing ever happens to them.
Yeah.
And it's a very unfair situation.
And it does bring me to 2024. What factors are you weighing to make your decision as to whether or not you run in 24?
I just want to see this country be great. I don't think I've ever seen the country in such danger as it is right now. We're in serious danger. And also, we're just not the same place. We are right now not a great country. You know, I say make America great again. I think that that term has never had such meaning as it does right now. I had a previous campaign, I was going to say, keep America great. And then I realized you can't use that, because America right now is being laughed at by the entire world. Our influence has dwindled. You look at all of the things that are wrong with the economy, with the military, our woke military. We have great military, but we have woke people on top running it. And they don't focus on China, they don't focus on Russia, they focus on things that nobody wants to talk about. It's crazy what's happening to our country in so many different ways. And what I want to see is I want to see America be great again. We can be great again. We have some problems that have been caused in the last 2 years that are very hard to, and that's a big problem. We have to do something about that. But we can turn it around and we can make America great again. And that's what I'm all about, make America great again.
Gosh, wouldn't that be lovely to see that happen? As always, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will check back in with you, and we hope that there's a big announcement to come soon. We will see.
Good, good. And I hope you don't get censored. I hope you don't get taken off.
We do too.
You know, I hope at least they get to see a piece of my first answer, just a little tiny piece of my first answer before they do it. Good.
Well,
Thank you very much,
We
Laura.
appreciate it.